Good evening, students. So today we are going to discuss about Feasel cipher structure under Unit 2, which is used in many block ciphers. The structure will be, it is very much essential to understand the conventional encryption algorithms. Okay. See, it follows the block cipher approach. So if you want to understand the DES, data encryption standard algorithm, you must understand what is Feasel cipher structure. Okay, and you should, with the process and working of DES algorithm, if you want to understand, it is very much required. Okay, and see here this Feasel cipher structure. Most symmetric block ciphers are based on the Feasel cipher structure. This structure was described by the Horst Feasel of IBM in the year 1973. And still, almost all conventional encryption schemes are using this. So it makes use of two properties. It use of two properties. One is diffusion and confusion, which is identified by Claude Shannon. So what is this diffusion and confusion? These two properties we are using here. The confusion is defined the relationship between the secret key and the ciphertext. So what is the secret key and the ciphertext relation? It talks about the confusion. That relationship talks about the confusion. And then diffusion, which is defines the relationship between the plain text and ciphertext. Talks about the plain text and ciphertext. Okay, and see, and this is the structure. This is the Feasel structure which we use to convert the plain text into cipher ciphertext. You can observe this structure now. See that we are taking the plain text. So that plain text will be divided into two halves called as L and R. So for our understanding, we can write it as a L naught, R naught in the first round. Okay, and then it is L1, R1 up to so on Ln, Rn. Okay, so see this here we have number of rounds in the structure. So in each round we follow some process, and that then we'll give the input to the next round, and there the process continues. In all the rounds we follow the same process. Let us see how this structure is constructed. See here, the plain text is divided into two halves, two equal halves, and it is given left hand side part and right hand side part. Okay, so with the left hand side part data, we will perform the round function which is represented with f. So we are performing the operation, okay, by using, this is r naught, this data, and we'll take some key, say for example k naught. Okay, so we are considering the text which is divided here into two halves. The right side half we have taken, and we are performing the function, round function here. Some operation we are performing with on this content by using some key k naught. So after performing some operation, what we will get? We will get some output. So here, after performing this, we will get an output. You can observe the left part, the left side part, that half part, and with this output, we are performing XOR to this both, XOR, exclusive OR. So this is left part, I mean the half content of the left side, and the output after performing the operation on this, we will get an output, and that output we perform the exclusive OR, and here we'll get some output that is given as input to the right hand side. The left hand side data is, the left hand side output is given as input to the right hand side, and the text, the half part which we were taken as an R naught, it is given to the L1. It is given to the L1. So this is called as round. Up to here, whatever the process we discussed, that is called as round. See, in the first we are performing the substitution. After that we are getting the outputs, and then we are performing the transposition. Transposition means interchange. So this output is given, left hand side output is given to the right hand side as an input, and the right hand side data is given as an input to the left hand side. And here also we do the same process. The same round function we take here, and here we'll take the another key k1 and this, and before data, and we'll perform the operation, we'll get the output. We perform the exclusive OR in between the L1 and this output, and we'll get the output that is given as an left hand side output is given as an input to the right hand side, and this content is given to the left hand side. So this process continues till the end, and finally we will get the ciphertext. So the plain text is converted into ciphertext, and here you can see all these keys k1, k2, k3 up to so on kn. These are unique. In each round we use different keys, so we can call them as a sub keys. So here these sub keys are generated. By using the sub keys, the operations will be performed. At last, we'll get the ciphertext. Here you can observe, after performing all of these rounds, we will get the final ciphertext. And you may, here a question may rise that, so how many rounds we need to consider? So here that is based on, the number of rounds is based on the algorithm which we use here to convert the plain text into plain text into ciphertext. It is based on the algorithm. Okay, right. I hope you understand this structure. Now we move on to the next slide, and see here. Just wait. See, we have seen the structure. Now we will see the step by step what we have discussed. See, as I told you, the plain text is divided into two halves, Li, Ri, and then we have n rounds to process. It depends on algorithm, I told you. The two halves pass through n rounds of processing and then combine to produce the ciphertext block. Finally, we'll get the ciphertext block. You see, in each round, the inputs Li minus 1 or I minus 1 is derived from the previous round. I have shown you in the structure. See the input of each round. See these two inputs. Say for example, this one and this one. These are the inputs where we have considered. We are considered from the previous. We have taken from the previous round. The previous round output is given as an input to the next round. Okay, that is given here. As I told you, and that is unique subkey ki will be generated by subkey generation algorithm. By using the subkey generation algorithm, for each round, a subkey will be given to perform the round function. You see here, all rounds have the same structure. So we perform the substitution on left half of the data. So there, which is done by applying a round function f to right half of the data, and then we take the XOR of the output of that function and left half of data. So this is what I explained you just before in the structure, and the round function is common to every round, so we'll perform the round function to every round, and but it is parameterized by round sub key k. I told you the keys are different in each round. Okay, after performing this we do the permutation. What is a permutation? Permutation is a transposition, means we are interchanging. So the left side output is given as an input to the right side, and the right side data is given as an input to the left side. So that is interchanging. That is what the permutation we perform here. Okay, now let us see the construction details. How how to construct this in a mathematical representation. Let us try to understand. So here we are taking some round function f, and there are some keys, sub keys k0, k1, k2 up to so on kn. In each round we use the one key. Round 0 we use k0, round 1 k1, round 2 k2, like that up to so on n rounds, n keys we will be using. So each round it is a unique. We are not using the same key in any two rounds. In every round the key is unique, but the same round function we will use. Okay, so let us take in the encryption process. In the encryption process, as I told you, we'll split the plain text into two pieces, two equal pieces, and that is mentioned here as L0 and R0. Okay, and now we have to perform the computation, and we have to calculate in each round 0, 1, 2, 3 up to so on n rounds will be there. And how it will be represented mathematically here is Li plus 1 is equals to Ri. Li plus 1 is equals to Ri. Let us explain this. Li plus 1, let us take I is equals to 0. If I is equals to 0, then see this Li plus 1, I means 0, 0 plus 1, L1 is equals to R0. L1 is equals to R0. So what is R0? R0 is the half part of right side part. Okay, L0 means the left side part. Okay, what is the L1? The right side half part is given to the L1. Let us see in a structure, then you can understand well. And see here, this is what L0, and this is R0. Okay, and this is L1, and it is R1. So what is L1? What is L1? L1 is what? This R0 is L1. This R0 is given to the L1. I already told you. So this is what it is represented in mathematical. Li plus 1 is equals to R0. So I hope you understand this. Li plus 1. I means 0, 0 plus 1, 1. L1 is equal to R0. So this R0 is given to the left side part. Okay? Right. And now, and similarly, let us see what is Ri plus 1. See, now we will discuss what is Ri plus 1. See, Ri plus 1 means Ri is 0, R1. So R1 is equals to how much? R1 is equals to how much? Let us discuss. Li, L0, Li means L0, exclusive R, L0, exclusive R, this round function of Ri, I means here 0, comma, K 0. This is what it is. If I is equal to 0, I was taken here I is equal to 0. Then R1 is equal to L0, exclusive R, F of R0, comma, K0. Let us see in the structure. Okay, and see this L0, R0, and L1, and this is R1. I'll write here. This is R1. See, I want this R1. R1 is equals to what? R1 is equals to what? This is L0. This is L0 exclusive R. L0 exclusive R. f of the first key is k naught and this is r naught. You can observe here. See L naught exclusive or f of k naught r naught. You can write in r naught k naught or k naught r naught, no issue. You can write it. Okay. So it will give you the r1. So I told you here we'll performing the f of k naught come r naught will get some output, and here L naught in between two will perform the exclusive or that will be given to a the next right side part input. So I hope you can understand this equation. The R1 is equals to L naught exclusive or f of R naught k naught that I was shown through this structure. So through this structure. So it will continue. So it is the encryption process which I have shown here, the mathematical representation, and we were discussed with this example with respect to the structure. And see, this is XOR, exclusive OR. Okay. And now we will see what is the decryption process. So in a decryption, you can see for this also we had the mathematical representation, and there here it is in reverse. Rn plus 1 Ln plus 1 which is accomplished. Let us take I is equals to n comma n minus 1 comma 0. So in encryption we started with L naught R naught and I is equals to 0 to n. In decryption it is reverse. It is R ciphertext. It is Rn plus 1 comma Ln plus 1, and here we started with n to 0 reverse. So if you want Ri, if you want Ri, if you want it is Li plus 1. If you want Li, it is Ri plus 1 exclusive or f of I plus 1 ki. If you take I is equal to 0 here, if you take I is equal to 0, let us see, take I is equal to 0, R0 is equals to L0 plus 1. It is means L1. If you want R0, it will be L1. So it is reverse. You can observe here. Here L1 is equals to R0 when you are performing the encryption process. In the decryption process, if you want R0, it will be L1 in reverse order. And similarly Li is equals to here Ri plus 1 is equal to Li. Here Li is equal to Ri plus 1 exclusive or f of Li plus 1 comma ki. So this is the representation to get the uh, to represent the this encryption and decryption in a mathematical format, how the process will be done. So let us see the next one, next slide. And here we have seen the construction and the mathematical representation of encryption and decryption process. Yeah. In the next slide, here we are going to discuss about uh, the substitution and permutation network which is proposed by the Shannon. So here the development of this encryption structure which is depends on some parameters and design features. So we will consider there is an impact of some parameters and design features that we will see now. What are those? Okay. The first one is block size. The first parameter is block size. See here, the block size, if you have in a block size, if you have more block size, more in the sense if the block size is larger, then the security is also high, right? But the processing is slow. You see, what is the a universal block size, or mostly we take 64-bit as a block size. Okay. And this is one parameter we'll consider. And let us see the next parameter, key size. So in the key size, you can see the key size also, if it is larger, then you will get the more security. Same here, you face the problem, the processing is slow, like a block size. So larger block size, greater security, slower process. Larger key size, greater security, slower process. Here, the most commonly we take 128 bits in all modern algorithms as a key size. Okay, in a block size, we have taken the 64 bits. In the key size, we are taking the 128 bits. Okay, so these are the two parameters we have seen. Let us see the remaining parameters. That is number of rounds. See,
వెయిట్లో పెట్టుకున్నారు సార్.
right, right. Okay. See the first number of rounds. If the number of rounds are more, then the security is more, but it slows the cipher. Here we can have most commonly 16 rounds we can have. That depends on the algorithm. Okay, right? And the next parameter is subkey generation algorithm. And this subkey generation is algorithm which we use it to generate a unique sub key for each round. For n rounds, we need n keys, and that will be produced by the sub key generation algorithm, which is very much essential. And then the next one is, and then the next one is round function. Round function. This round function I have shown you. F we have represented with f of. So that function we are performing the operation here f of some ki and r, ki ri. Okay, ri is the right hand side part data and ki is the key which we are applying there, right? See, if the greater complexity will make the cryptanalysis harder. What is the cryptanalysis? Here it is also mentioned. I told you cryptanalysis means what? To Cryptanalysis means what? To crack the encryption and to get the plain text without having the key. See, I don't have the key. The attackers don't have the key, but they try to get the plain text. Okay, so that process we call it as a cryptanalysis. Okay, so here if it is greater complexity, it will make the cryptanalysis harder. So it gives a challenge to the attackers to convert and to grab the original data. Okay, so these are the five parameters. One is block size, key size, number of rounds, sub-key generation algorithm, round function. So based on all these five parameters, the structure is depends. Okay, so let us see this in this diagram. In these two diagrams, you can clearly see that the encryption and decryption process, how it will be performed. See once again, the structure we already discussed, and once again we see the plain text is divided into two halves. One is L naught and R naught. Here we are taking the K naught, the key. See, this R naught data is given to the round function. With this R naught and K naught, it is performing some operation, and the output and this L naught value, for both it is performing the exclusive OR, and this output, the left hand side output, is given to the right hand side as an input, right? And similarly, this half data is given as an input to the left hand side, and this is we call one round, I told you. So like this, like that, we have multiple rounds. So here it starts L naught R naught with a K naught, and then K1, then K2, K3, up to so on Kn. So what is the final we got here? We got the Rn plus 1 and Ln plus 1. This is the ciphertext, right? We have performed the encryption on the plain text, and finally we got the ciphertext. And this we take as a input to the decryption. So where we have stopped this process, Rn plus 1, Ln plus 1, and this will be given here. See here, Rn plus 1, Ln plus 1. So here we started with K naught, K naught to Kn. In reverse, we start here with Kn to K naught. So for performing the decryption process, right? So Kn, we are taking the function round function on ln plus 1 data. With this kn will perform, we'll get an output, and this rn plus 1, and with this output we perform exclusive or, and that output is given as an input to the right hand side, and this data is given to the left hand side. We'll continue the process. See here kn, it is kn minus 1, next one is kn minus 2, kn minus 3. It will go till k0, and finally see what we have what we got, L naught and K naught. L naught, K naught, this plain text we got here. So we have taken the plain text, converted into ciphertext L naught, R naught, and with Rn plus 1, Ln plus 1. And then in reverse for the decryption process, we start with Rn plus 1, Ln plus 1. We got the L naught, R naught. The finally we'll get the plain text. Okay. So it both, at both encryption and decryption side, we are using the same algorithm, same algorithm. When we are using the same algorithm, the same key we are using, so which is called as symmetric approach. The same process we are performing at encryption and decryption, both the sides. That is the advantage here. Okay. Yeah. See, the process of encryption is also same as the encryption process. The decryption is same as the encryption process. So here we use the ciphertext as an input. I have shown you. Okay. But we use the subkeys K in reverse order. I told you, no. In the encryption, we have used K naught to Kn. Here we use Kn to K naught. Okay. See that we use K1 in the first round in the decryption, and then Kn minus 1. In the second round, it will continue till K0, the last round, to receive the same plain text. So what is the advantage? Just now I have told you we no need to implement two different algorithms. So one algorithm is enough at the encryption to convert the plain text into ciphertext, or to convert the ciphertext into plain text, we are using the same algorithm, so which is called as a symmetric approach, right? So this is what a conventional, sorry, this is what Feasel cipher structure. This cipher structure we use in a DES, data encryption standard algorithm. There we will see the structure. The structure is more helpful in discussing the data encryption standard algorithm, and not only in a DES, it is more useful in um, conventional encryption algorithms. So that we will see. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now on this topic.